Very good afternoon, sir. Very good afternoon to all the participants. So, I welcome you, sir, from behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering and also from AIT AICT Atal program on 3D printing and design. So, sir, I would request all the participants to have the first brief biodata of our today's eminent speaker, who is Dr. Guru Prasad Rao, sir. So let's I'll start with a brief introduction of him, and then we'll move to for. I'll just take over to sir, and then we can start. So I hope my voice is audible, sir. Is it audible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, Dr. Guru Prasad Rao is a director and mentor, usually in leadership team at Imaginarium India Private Limited, which is located at Mumbai, Maharashtra, which is leading 3D printing company as well. His current focus is on DFIM for metal 3D printing, 3D printing medical applications, skill development besides technology mentoring and partnerships across the domains. Dr. Rao is an technocrat with over 30 years of experience encompassing industry and academia. He holds BE Mechanical degree with PG in Tool Engineering from GTTC, then Masters in Design in Product Design from IISc Bengaluru, and PhD from IIT Bombay. For his terminal degree, he worked on medical applications of 3D printing. His industry assignments include Titan, Tanex, Comprint Grievous, and presently at Imaginarium. He joined Imaginarium as a CEO and is presently designated as a mentor director. He has taught design at IISc and NIFT, NIFT, then JSSATE and NTTF. He was a professor and head at Project Office ICCD Jaipur. He also teaches courses on emerging technology and its impact at SP Jain and KJ Somaya Business Schools. Dr. Rao is associated with many industry bodies such as CII, FICCI, NA NASCOM, IAMF. Presently, he is a part of a member CII National Committee on Design with the duration of 2019 to 2021. As CII conference chairman, he successfully led a 3D printing conference 2019 by CII at Mumbai. So this is what was about the Professor Dr. Guru Prasad Rao, who is a CEO in and director at Imaginarium. So now we'll go for the next, which as we are going to have the virtual tour to the Imaginarium, company, 3D printing company. So we'll just have more about what is Imaginarium. So about the Imaginarium, Imaginarium is a leader in 3D printing and advanced manufacturing technology, housing the largest setup of 3D printers in the country. Having pioneered game-changing applications for over 50 industries, Imaginarium has helped disrupt the manufacturing sector by enabling enterprises to prototype faster, design better, and realize product in shorter time spans. We are grooming the next breed of makers and innovators for another manufacturing revolution. With a complete ecosystem of productive services, Imaginarium and its range of industry-specific verticals are a platform for ideation and execution backed up by decades of expertise. Whether it's manufacturing exquisite jewelry or innovating engineering applications or saving lives with a patient-specific solution, Imaginarium is committed to seamlessly transforming ideas into reality and creating things that makes a difference of an assortment of industries. So the website for the Imaginarium company is www.imaginarium.io. Already I have shared with you the info about our today's speaker, and as well as we have shared the website for the Imaginarium company. So I welcome sir with today's topic, which is case studies and the virtual tour for our Imaginarium India Private Limited. We are very, fortunate enough that we could had last 2 years. I think we had visited the industry, and I hope all the participants, once the pandemic is over, I hope sir will allow you to further visit. And it's been, it's a very good industry. If you see it, you will be thinking that I would be in that company as a, for a job. So thank you, sir. So I now tell sir to take over and please lead for the session. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Pramod, for a very generous introduction there. Very good afternoon to all of you, my dear faculty members from across the country. I saw some registration of 200, and I'm sure many of you are able to make it today and for these 5 days of Atal FTP program on 3D printing and design. And hope you had a wonderful sessions in the morning also. I came to know you have a topic like 4D printing in the morning. Then upon that you had a very nice medical case study discussed by Professor Ravi from NIT Warangal. And today what we are going to do is I'm going to talk about the application areas of 3D printing. As you know, Imaginarium has been in this domain for a very long time. I myself started my journey at GTTC in 90s, with the introduction of this technology. In Tanishq, we examined this technology, evaluated it in 93. And in 2000, I was actually running a 3D printer. So it goes back very long time back. And we have accumulated a wealth of knowledge now. Can I request Pramod to share my screen? I'm unable to see my screen. Pramod?
Sir, now you can share it, sir.
I have to share, is it? Okay.
From your side, you have to share it. My screen will get, out then.
Oh, okay. No, unless you unshare, I cannot share, I think. I am able to see your screen only.
Yeah, I've unshared mine, and so you can now share yours.
It says unshare. Again, I'm sharing now. Well, there is some problem in sharing here. Screen one, meeting, screen one. Can you see this now?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You're able to see? Okay. Okay. So AM case studies and virtual facility tour is what I've given the caption as. And as you can see here, Imaginarium is working on various aspects of 3D printing, which encompasses from giving service to selling missions, to training, to help startups in their journey to, adapt technology or, all that we do. So it's a kind of a one-stop shop. Okay. So 3D printing, as you know, it is there for a long time now. People keep calling it as the next big thing since 1986. It is an irony, right? And why is that so? That's because of some of the factors I have listed here. 3D printing is costly, and to print anything, you need a 3D file, and it is time consuming, so it is not fast. And there are some limited materials, and it needs always a post processing. You cannot just 3D print and start using it. And many people say that it is only good to make prototypes. Well, these were somehow the reasons why people were not adopting 3D printing. And in a way, there are some truth in this. Okay. But what you see in this presentation are some of our case studies which will start changing these. When you say it's costly, you'll learn that it is not so costly. Okay. And 3D printing file is required. Of course, it is required. So people have now ecosystem which will support. Time consuming is something is also now getting overcome. We are going to have technologies which are much faster. Now, limited materials were probably once upon a time. Today, we have more than 600 materials to offer. From not just Imaginum is offering, but generally it is available. Specialized materials are available, and post processing. Now post processing is something which is always there, which you cannot escape. So which is required. And today, we are happy to say that we are making end user parts. It is no more only used for prototypes. So let us understand in order to bring out any product, to launch it, we need to design it, and we need to test it. And designing and testing needs prototype. It could be a low fidelity prototype or a fast, high fidelity prototype. You know. And this prototype gave the input, trigger to discover a new technology called 3D printing. You know, and we all know prototypes, when we do the designing, there are various areas where we require prototyping. The emphasis is not same. So in planning, you don't require a prototype. But when you do concept development, you need, and system level design, we need some amount of prototyping. When you do detailing, you again require some kind of prototyping there. Now, testing and refinement is one area where you require a lot of prototype, because it is a iterative nature of design. Needs people to go back to drawing board again and again and improve the product, its feature, working, etc. So there is a kind of it's a process. Prototyping becomes a kind of a part of design thinking, or design designing process, which is a verb. And that's what we can see here. And people, when they put out designs, somebody will copy it very quickly, right? Copyright is right to copy, so you cannot really defend you cannot prevent somebody from copying. So what people are doing, they will try to improve upon the product feature and create a number of versions. And that's where the testing and refinement will come into picture. So you have a version 1, version 2, version N, so that whenever the competition copies, you can actually offer a next version. Okay, and B, your own competition. So it has become a very important strategic tool today. Not only it will reduce the time to market, it will improve the quality of design, but it also helps you to be in the remain competitive in a competitive global market. And in fact, why people are doing it is because the cost incurred for designing and cost committed are inverse. This forms the business case why people have to adopt 3D printing. And people have been making prototype using various ways, but that needed a lot of skill. In order to make these, you need to have hand skills. So many times you had to depend on somebody, an artist or a model maker, to help you out. Today, if you are able to generate a model on computer, no need to wait and request anybody. So you just give it to a robot called 3D printer, and that will take care, isn't it? And so, with the fast digitization that is happening, in the manufacturing sector, we are looking at various ways the world is changing today. So we have seen the industrial revolution 1, 2, 3, And in three, at the end of the third industrial revolution, 3D printing was born. Now we are stepping into industrial revolution 4, which is into a very different kind of, we'll again come back to it, but we are already moving towards industrial revolution 4. We call it as industry 4.0. And so 3D printing brings the possibility of creating an object directly from a virtual model, and that is the beauty. Whatever you make it right, it is produced. You make it wrong, it is also reproduced, faithfully. And that is the beauty, what you've been learning for last 4 days about this technology, and this is what it offers, right? And we all know, if you have an idea, this idea as a sketch has to be modeled on a computer with a wireframe and all. Then you have to triangulate that model, and then you can give it to a 3D printer which prints it. A lot of file translations you have to do. You have to slice it, and 3D printing is that process in which the slices which are done are put back, and what you get is the uh, physical object. And this is done using a 3D printer. And what exactly it will do? It will put back the layers, faithfully in a sequence in order to build the object that is desired. Well, today you have a lot of small missions, big missions. This technology, particularly FDM, has become a open source now. Your students can build, you can build, So we have a lot of missions today available, both internationally and in the local markets. And if we look at the whole spectrum of opportunity, first of all, 3D printing cannot be topped off without an idea. So the idea is very important. Without an idea, what are you going to print? You know, and this idea has to be translated into a CAD model. So for CAD model, you have reverse engineering coming from the top, and also you need to have some uh, gyan of DFAM, design for additive manufacturing, because it is a new way of making things. And after having done the CAD, you have to export the file, and in various file formats, you have to process it, that is slicing and all. Then only 3D printing starts. Now, coming to 3D printing, also, 3D printing needs material, and it needs also a lot of care, that is maintenance. If you don't maintain, they kind of they don't work, so they need a lot of love and care. Then, of course, you have post processing. What are post processing? It is like cleaning, painting, sanding, electroplating, for example, in some cases, all of them, pigmenting. So these are all the post processing you can do. With this, what you have is a world of opportunity. You can think of anything, and even you can do unthinkable things. Let us come to that later. So people have been printing big, and people have been printing small. you know in fact, there are mega things which people have done it. People have also done at a nanoscale, you know and even with a small printer, one can get to do a lot of things. Like in the foreground, what you see is a printer, you know which is less than 2 lakhs or so. And what you find in the background is a mammoth. It's made like a small Lego bricks which are put together to make the entire product there. Today, AM is making deep inroads into various industries such as aerospace, armament, automotive, dental, electronics, furniture, implants, prosthetics, jewelry, food, sports, various things, And this is only limited by your imagination. It can enter into any. And tomorrow's industries will look like this. It's lot of a form of 3D printers, big and small. You know, we need different machines because each one is capable of a particular thing. So you need a whole lot of form to generate what is required for the world. And people say there are two things which are spoken about when you speak about 3D printing, its capability. There is no economy of scale and complexity comes for free. So let us see through a small, uh, you can see here a cylinder is having so many things which are done in the conventional manufacturing. The cost keeps on increasing with the complexity. Also, the wastage also increases with the complexity. As you remove more and more material from a object, a cylinder, you tend to get more and more of waste also as scrap. On the other hand, in 3D printing or additive manufacturing, the part is built layer by layer and it doesn't follow the conventional way of setting. So in one single setup, you can do all the things: knurling, milling, milling of a square and turning of round, all. It doesn't require any fixture. So it is like a toolless manufacture. And you can see here the complexity. No matter how much is the complexity, the cost curve remains steady. It is a horizontal line because it doesn't demand you any extra wages or it doesn't incur any extra cost. And what is happening to the wastage? It is not much because you're adding material. So I think these are very important aspects when we go into the application areas. Now, coming to the world of important applications, I can think of many of them, but predominantly, if you prioritize, we have six of them. They are part consolidation. What is meant by part consolidation? It is earlier days, we used to have a box. If you want to make a trunk, you need to rivet the corners and you have Dakkan dalna padega. Then you have to put the hinges. Hinge itself requires a lot of fasteners and you need a hinge pin. There is a top part of the hinge, bottom part of the hinge. One hinge is not sufficient. You put two hinges. You can just think of number of parts now as we are speaking. So part consolidation is one capability that 3D printers give, 3D printing technology offers, by which you can combine the, all the things, parts you have as into one. Okay, so build as a one part, but which is going to flex, and behave as though it is assembled already. So there is no need to assemble also. Earlier days, people used to assemble wrongly. You needed poke-yoke and all that. Now it is not required. So with this virtue called part consolidation, people are able to arrive at a more reliable systems than before. Then comes the second one, jigs and fixtures. We can make custom jigs and fixtures very quickly. As the technology is changing, manufacturing is moving towards lean agile, what you call. And so people require jigs and fixtures made quickly, for few batch quantities. So that can be done on demand using a 3D printer. Now, the third one is need for lightweighting. Lightweighting is very important because, especially in aerospace industry, where the payload is uh, important factor that is to be considered, you need parts which are high in strength but low in weight. So high strength to weight ratio is what is expected in aeroborne systems. Today we have SpaceX and others who are also doing space journey, which may become a norm in very soon. We are also looking at electrical vehicles. E-vehicles, though in a car payload is not so much important in the IC engine driven things, But today, the whole world is looking at e-vehicles. There is going to be a shift. The hybrid concept of hybrid never took off. It is there, but in only in small numbers. So people are looking at a jump from IC engine to e-vehicles. When you go there, the weight becomes very important. Because you have a heavy cell, lithium ion cells, which are there, and lightweighting also becomes important on the terrestrial vehicles, not only for the space, aeroplane or the space vehicles. Pardon, you are unable to hear me? Pardon?
Good morning.
Very good morning. You're calling.
I am joined.
I have been muted. Okay, fine. The need for lightweighting also is very important thing, which 3D printers offer, easily, because you can think of any lattice structure, you know, Voronoi diagram driven structures, the topology optimized structures that could be used, and that cannot be injection molded. It cannot be CNC milled. The only way you can make is by 3D printing. Now, coming to the complexity, you see there is a jewelry piece that is shown here. In jewelry or any such thing, complexity is very high. We cannot even make them. By hand you can make anything, but by making in a CNC or injection molding mass production systems, it is almost impossible, right? And also, the world is becoming more and more. The manufacturing is going to be going away from the dictionary very soon. There is no manufacturing before the industrial revolution. It was all a crafts sector. Same way, in future, the aspiration of people will drive that they will not require anything in large numbers. They need custom everything. That means just one part. So when the complexity is very high and you want one part, manufacturing is not the term to be used. It is digital fabrication. So 3D printing brings the possibility of digital fabrication where you just print one and enjoy the benefits of you know uh, the part you need, and it can be used as an end user part. Now, need for customization is maximum in the material, in medical areas, wherein we are all unique people. You know, एक हाथ में पांच उंगली same नहीं है, So even in one family, people are not of the same stature. So we require customized solution. Now, if you need anything, we require a customized solution. That's where 3D printing comes to our help, wherein we can produce a lot of customized parts. So these are main 6 areas where we tend to benefit using this technology. Moving forward, we have one example here, GE's LEAP engine of your nozzle. Probably, I don't know whether you already have seen it. So you can see part consolidation here, one part to 20, from 20 parts to one part, because of which the reliability is increased by 5 times. Weight has reduced by 25%, and it has become more cost effective, 30% most cost effective. And because we require, whenever we require, we can on demand print this. You just have a digital model of this, keep it. So that doesn't require any inventory carrying cost. So you're able to save on the inventory cost. So this is kind of giving, a great message to the world. These are the capabilities. Please adopt additive manufacturing. Let us call a spade a spade. So 3D printing was born for making prototypes. So you can see some of these prototypes, even today, world's largest consumption for 3D printing has been in new product development, has been in making prototypes, has been in research. has been to understand things. So you take any sector, this is one of the main areas where 3D printing plays an important role. BHEL Trichy people had come. They had planned for a poster presentation here, you know, in the Bombay Exhibition Center. And they had come. Somebody told them there is something called as Imaginarium. You go and you will be able to see things. So these people, they came and they said, we have an exhibition. It's coming up. We have come early to meet you all. I said, are you showing these? They said, no, we cannot bring. We have very big parts. So we showed them some of the parts what we have made for others, and they got interested. So they called some engineers in the BHEL Trichy, and those engineers just mailed the digital models what they had, and these are cut sections. You may not believe these models were made in a matter of 3 days, and they were packed and delivered to Bombay Exhibition Center. They had a very great show, and I went to their this thing also, the exhibition stall. They're so happy. They were telling, but for meeting this guy, we would not have had such a great show. So that is the beauty of this, because models can be transported, by mail. It doesn't weigh anything at the speed of light. But wherever you have facility, you can print it. And that is also why people have transported a 3D printer to the space, in International Space Station. They are keeping today 3D printers. If they have any problem to fix that, they can just transmit a digital model, and that digital model gets printed over there. You know, well, uh, there are other case studies like this one. You know, so this is a engine block which used to take 300 days. From drawing to carpenter carving it to core box creation. It used to take 10 months straight. Today, in 4 days, this can be made available. So this is a wax model. So this can be, after checking, it can go for casting directly to get a engine block, and that's a phenomenal zipping of time. You know, many people don't know about this. I'm not sure. Uh, this is made up of nylon. This is done by sintering. We infiltrate wax into it, and after the wax is infiltrated, the whole part is 80% wax and 20% nylon, and it can be burnt out, and you can pour anything in this. So such is the beauty of the. So likewise, we are going to study many case studies now before we see the factory. So you're all from institutions, so I am showing this. These are all made for Formula Car students projects now. This is an IoT device. You know, you can see SLS model has been built, which are white in color, but after post processing, the whole part is colored black as per the industrial design requirements, of the customer. And you can see it has got LEDs on the top. These things are laser etching was done, and even the what is so-called screen printing was done, pad printing was done, and in order to make it a real product. So these are some products which are not made in large numbers. They are IoT devices. They're made for a company for 10, 20, 30, hundreds only. So they test and then go for bulk, they'll go for tooling and all. So we are able to do this much faster than thanks to the technology. Same way, sometimes health bands and all people were asking for getting funding. So it's very important. You have to show a working model in order to get funded. If you want to have a pitch for crowd funding and all, angel funding and all, people want to know how good is what you're saying, the idea. So we have helped many startups like this one, the health band was made, only few numbers. They don't not only look like real, they work like real ones. You can see here in fashion also. So we went to the Kuala Lumpur fashion show. It was Asia's first 3D printed fashion show. This was designed by me, the national bird peacock, and it's all made in nylon. And way back in 2013, and it was a great experience, And this is an object which again, which cannot be made by any other way but by 3D printing. Yet another IoT device which was made. And the beauty is these IoT devices are not needed in large numbers because the design keep on changing. And so each client will have their own inputs requirements which are done. And so we did this for a startup and we have done quite a few of them. So this for HVAC. It has got it is a box which needs to be exposed to all kinds of sound, the volatile air, humidity, temperature, everything, and that is going to sense and help people to do the tracking and take care of. Now this is connected to AI, which will control the HVAC. We also did quite a few of the trophies because Hollywood is very famous and we all know, though it is in some controversy now, it's always been. But let us focus on the Filmfare Trophy here, which the Filmfare Trophy, the 59th Filmfare Trophy, the organizers wanted a 3D printed one. And they also said, we want a blooming lotus. You can see here, it's a blooming lotus. Normally it is a bud. The original is in bud. So the whole thing, is very light because it is made of SLS, master, and it was done vacuum casting of so many, 42 of them. You can see here, PC is holding that, before we made. And you see all my colleagues here in this photograph. And we could do this. And we have done many more such things because trophies typically you don't require 1 million trophies. Maybe Oscars may go for higher numbers, but it is always few numbers. So we created 59th Filmfare Trophy was all very light, and this is made at Imaginarium. And see the complexity which this technology can offer. These are unthinkable designs, unthinkable because they're accidents of mathematical formulas on screen. You you feed n is equal to 1, 2, 3, whatever comes, interesting forms, you freeze it and export as HTL and print it. And who will print? The 3D printers, metal printers in this case. You can see the complexities, what we can handle at Imaginarium. The first one is a silver jewelry piece, which is studded. And if you turn the back, it is enameled, you can see. The whole part is printed as one. It is not printed and assembled, soldered or welded later. On the right hand side, you have a plastic one, which is SLS, which has been pigmented with red color. And and you can have any color matching to your dress. Today we are able to compete with jewelry. If somebody wants to produce just one-off, uh, we are much more economical than probably you take it anywhere, because we have that expertise. And today people all over the world, some of the most complex jewelry get made here. We may make every day we print something like 30 to 40,000 elements which are assembled and sent across the world. You can see how it works after the part is made, some of the jewelries or they start with corrections and making of the wax models, then they go into investment casting and finishing, cleaning, studying, plating, whatnot, all those things. We also tried making a clay printer, So these are some of our own R&D, clay, ceramic, and food. These are all the things we have tried, So these will kind of open up our horizon to offer services to various things, such as these. These are all artifacts which are built by the same mission you saw just now. You can see some of them are typically which can be done by normal potter also, like the first one. The second one, a normal potter's wheel cannot do it. The third one cannot be done, and the fourth one. So there are a crazy number of iterations one can do. You can be very creative at that. And we can also do 3D print enabled, molding, small batch quantity. After 3D printing is done, you make a master, and that master you put it in a mold, a silicon mold, and then you cut it open. You get a cavity which can take and behave like a mold, for the production of a small batch quantity. So we are able to do the transparent things, opaque things, those which have different hardness, from 10 or 15 shore hardness to 90 shore hardness. We can have, rubber-like objects also we can have, from this technology. Now, 3D printing has actually opened up a whole world of new aesthetics because of its sheer capability. So let us see quickly some of them, which are all done by 3D printing. So all of these are done by 3D printing. So many of them. Again, here you can see this is a mathematical formula. This are all mirrored and they are printed. This is not something from Belur Halebeed or from Mount Abu, but they are actually 3D printed. Tomorrow's habitat, people are doing concept like this, and you can force fit an animal and a furniture to get this. So you can see how far frog and furniture are combined to make this product. So, in fact, what you see in nature is so complex. Hadi, I say, like the corpus, if you see under microscope, it looks like this. And some of these, the sea creatures also have such skeletons. So you get to such complexity that is very easily handled by additive manufacturing. You can see the jewelry is no more a piece of gold. It can have fun on your, you're wearing a fun, a statement. You can see how beautifully people are able to visualize, conceptualize, and then make it. And it opens up a whole lot of things, which are all there, You can see here the fluidity of the cloth is captured here. And of course, you can always make customized phone cases, etc. You can put your initials on the top. You can gold plate it, and you can make the gears work. All this happens, because it gives so much of freedom, creative freedom to do anything. That is the beauty of this technology. And if we really look at it, you need a new design thinking. We need to go for customization as far as possible. Then 3D printing becomes a real value add. Need for a small batch quantity, even one part, is another opportunity. And optimization of things, optimization of structures, parts, can be done using 3D printing. And you can actually think of a value delivery. It is not about just product delivery, but value delivery that happens. design will lead the consumption, manufacturing would be taken for granted. Who worries about something is 3D printed or not? People want to enjoy products and services. That's it, right? And the future of 3D printing is going beyond prototyping to end user parts. In fact, as we discussed, we are making lot of functional parts which will go for end user application. So you can see a kind of journey what started in 86 with capability to build only mock-up models. With the accurate models, by 2010, we could do design validation models, you know, and in 2016, we can do, uh, we could do end user part. So the journey goes on, the technologies are becoming cheaper and better and more material at your disposal. The ecosystem on the whole is really improving now. You can see some of the technologies like multi-jet fusion brought by HP, Hewlett Packard, shows a lot of promise. While some of the technologies, mostly all of them are very slow. You see, this is the build speed here, and they're all very slow. HP is very fast. And on the other hand, the solution price here, if you see solution price, some of them are so costly, but HP is somewhere down. So I think this is what is going to help industry adapt because it has to be viable, very important. This is yet another example of jewelry. So piece of gold is not important. You can even wear a nylon. You see the hood sole, custom soles for patients who need them, and conversion of metal part into a plastic part. See the beauty of this with multi-jet fusion. It is almost like a rock. Wherever you need metal, you can retain as an insert, but rest are converted, into plastic. Some of the parts you can see here. This is a very interesting compliant mechanism. So what you see here is like a inverted Bourdon tube, So the pneumatic air comes in the middle, it blows into it, and it behaves like a tongue. And so I'm showing the blower, which is used in the birthday parties. No, that's how this works. Let us see the working of this. You can see the pneumatic system brings the compressed air, and that deforms, and the tongues come and close. You can see the application, how parts are lifted and transported from one row to another, So these are some of the compliant mechanisms. So I will not go deep into the details of compliant mechanisms, but these are some of the best, um, adopted using technology. People create things which will last forever, So the part what you see here, it will live for a very long time because the number of parts are just one. Okay, the whole part, though there is a mechanism which is working, the beauty is it has just one part count. In fact, in materials, when we talk of materials, uh, polymers are majority, of which also photopolymers are majority. Then thermoplastic is going to make the remaining. A very small amount is actually metal, but it is going to increase. Industrialization requires a lot of metal 3D printing. And you can see some of the speeds of these 3D printing technologies. You have SLA. These are all apple to apple comparison. No? It is not just like that. You take a particular volume of thing. When you print on SLA, it is going to take 11 and a half hours. If you go for SLS, it is 3.5 hours. And if you go to Polyjet, it is 3 hours. And you go for a clip, it is just 6.5 minutes. So to see the kind of zipping of time that is happening. So we do a lot of projects with automotive. You can see some of the automotive products. This was pattern, impellers and all, sorry. And here you have a complex part which is done using multi-jet fusion. These are all made up of glass field nylon. These are dielectric parts for electrical industry. More of it. Here again, a bevel gear part is made in small quantities, and option was only 3D printing. This we have already seen. This is a vacuum casted design validation model, and people are happy if it fails. People are happy if it doesn't fail. Why people are happy if it is failing? Because they had a uh, opportunity to go back to drawing board, know where it failed, how it failed, so they can make a better product. That is why they are happy. Why they are happy if it is not failing? That's because, after all, it is validating the design. So that's what I always say. And you can see some of these grills are made by 3D printing. So as made, they are little gray in color. As finished, they are black in color. This is a side door. Actually, side door which is made for a car. This is a dashboard for a small vehicle, like an auto rickshaw. Not exactly auto rickshaw, it's a small vehicle which was made by some customer. You can see it's built as two parts, two halves. They're getting glued together as one part. Finishing will be done with as one part. So these are all some of the other materials we have been using. Nylon P6, and this can be directly sintered, and it gives very good engineering plastic parts. This is a SLA part. Of course, it's quite huge part, and some 12 or 24 pieces are put together to make a large part, which is required. You can see here, some of these are mirror optics, mirrors for automotive systems, which can be printed, and then you can plate them or metallize them. Well, here you can see some of the exhibits at Elachroma exhibition, where customers have showcased parts which are actually 3D printed. They're not real. The real things will be in pipeline, they'll come. So they don't have to wait for the customer to take a feedback. Some of these are devices which are done, and you can see the right side, what you see is a breast examiner for people who suffer from the breast cancer. So this scans and gives you a kind of prediction that is very useful for test marketing, things like that. You can see here some of the, again, automotive things printed and then converted into silicon molds and to produce batch quantity. So these are all indirectly produced using 3D printing. This is a BEMPU hypothermia monitoring device, which was an idea which came to us from this startup BEMPU from Bangalore. We could create these skin-friendly, infant skin-friendly material for the band, which was vacuum cast. And uh, today they're able to make a lot of it, and they're saving a lot of children. In medical opportunity, whatever you take X-rays, it is normally CT is a set of slices, you know. So people thought, why can't we use it for 3D printing? Because 3D printing also is built layer by layer. So using some of the medical image protocol like DICOM can be imported into a software, and wherein we can stack them in a sequence and we can get back the anatomy. So that is the potential what this opened up. And today we have medical opportunities spreading to 5 different levels. At first level, you have devices which will come. At second level, you have anatomical models. At the third level, you have guides and fixtures which are required for patient, and there is implant. And at the fifth level, you have printing of organs. So printing of organs happens at different levels. You know, on a petri dish, people grow something and they graft it and they use it. Well, today this is something which is still going on in labs all over the world, and people are not quite able to do the vascularization, and that's what is holding the last stage. Otherwise, Imaginum is in all these 4 different stages, and we're also watching the last one. You can see here how a patient who was suffering from confused consciousness, you know, after losing a cranial, large part of cranial plate, we had to recreate them, you know. And post this operation, this guy has gone back. He was a banker, so he has gone back to his banking. There's a teacher called Darshana ji, and I'll try to see. There is a movie for on this particular thing, and she also got a renal plate, and it is very good representation how technology can change our lives, change the quality of life, and improve, save lives, etc. You can see this is a bone, the human bones, if you cut them, you see a lot of porosity inside. These are called a functionally graded material, you know. Because 3D printing, you have a control over every layer, you can play with it and get any complex, structure made out of. Now coming to the COVID time, we all know COVID brought up some of the strong points of additive manufacturing, you know, such as conceptualizing, making quick prototypes, and then launching it. You know, all these are very much part of the present crisis. And I'm able to reach all of you by this virtual means because of the one thing that is COVID. And so, in some sense, we should thank COVID because it has brought in digitization, which is much earlier than what was earlier thought of. So for fighting COVID, we have made a lot of things. That is full face mask protection, which covers the ears also. You can see ear is also plugged here, very important. And we have done during the pandemic a lot of things to ease the situation, to help the front end warriors, the doctors, the paramedics, um, the government officials, and and also the police, all these people, emergency services, all essential service people. You can see how a open source thing was further improved to make this. Thanks to 3D printing, we are able to do quickly all these things. These are splitters for ventilators that were made on call by doctors, and it was very effective that they were used, actually with the systems to check the efficacy and then also possible reuse on the patients. The Venturi valve again printed for the healthcare. You can see here, aerosol box is a fabricated one, and it is being, it is a kind of a control volume, when you have mass and heat and mass transfer, you have a control volume. Same way, here, this constitutes a kind of a boundary for heat exchange. That is very important. You can see here some of the devices which people have been making, surgical mask to relieve some of the pressure. They have built a small thing. The beauty of 3D printing is you have an idea, it can be made into an artifact quickly. You know, these are oral care devices. These are some of the door opening devices we made. I think today we have more than 20 iterations, and we have a different thing now to use. So it allows for you to experiment with form, product, and the context where it can be deployed. That is the beauty of 3D printing. You can see some of these components when they are made ergonomic or when they are made um, organic, they kind of consume less metal, and at the same time they offer great strength to the part. So what you see here is the capability of computing that is acting, which is going to make these complex objects, geometries, to not only to bring, and we can also use them because of the 3D printers. You can see how the optimization algorithms keep on changing the part, giving different versions. And you can see the basic need was to sit, and so many things are created. Same way in the buildings also, people use a lot of parametric designs in future, lightweight, which are 3D printed, that can be deployed on big, large facades, you know. So if the sun is there, it's too bright, you can close it. If sun is not there, it is too dark, you can open all of them. Something like that, is a possibility. The future of 3D printing is hardware and software. Material and software will keep growing, and orders to move from a physical factory to a cloud factory. Very important. You can see material, the hardware will become like a generic, like generic drugs. You have hardware will be treated as like a screwdriver. You don't study screwdriver now. As mechanical engineer, do you study screwdriver? No. So same way here, 3D printer in future, people will not probably study because who cares? I'm interested in the end part, something like that. In future, there is going to be a hybrid manufacturing, wherein the CNC strength, additive manufacturing strength, robotic strength are, combined together to get a kind of solution. These guys are going to have. We're going to see. You can see additive manufacturing or 3D printing is an important player in Industry 4.0, which brings the physicality to cyber physical systems. So you can see here, Cloud Factory. We have a Cloud Factory at Imaginum also. You can browse our website and you can place an order. These are some of the fleets of different missions we have at Imaginarium. Each one has its own unique capability, and we use all of them to serve customers. You can see here from SpaceX, competitor Reality, Relativity. I'm sorry, Relativity made this part, and you can see the complexity, the size, the accuracy, all that. Now, in this, it's very important to learn. So, where exactly 3D printing actually lies before we go into virtual reality, virtual tour. I would like to have this last slide wherein you have the 3D printing. is something which delivers complexity. You can see volume wise is very poor. On the other hand, injection molding is something which is going to give you large numbers like 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, something like that. The same thing cannot be expected out of investment casting or vacuum casting, or from the CNC. But well, people have been producing now using many things, including CNC, pantograph they use CAD model to fire directly into the 3D printer to make these parts. Um, the injection molding will remain as a high volume production methodology. 3D printing will remain as a complexity producing technology. I cannot print possibly a washer. Why do I need it? Because conventional method is good. It fetches you a washer very easily. Whereas if you go for 3D printing a washer, it's a very wrong way of utilizing its strength. So please understand, 3D printing should be used mostly for complexity. I think with this, I will come to the end of the presentation. Now it is time to show you some movies. So I'll unshare this slide. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, I can clarify. I'll unshare it. Can we? Okay. I want to share now something else. Let me see if I can.
Till then, any questions from the participants?
Pardon?
Any questions from the participants?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. There is no question for us because I am learning this 3D printing and all these lecturers through lecturers only. I'm very interesting by day seeing these sessions and learning new things from this webinar. So thank you very much for providing this such type of excellent presentations for us.
Oh, great. Okay. So let me now present you some things which probably, I think if I want to present something, let me figure out. We have half an hour more, right? So I'll show you some. To start with, I'll show you our own, what you call, our facility.
Why build anything?
You cannot hear the sound?
Yes.
Why make it better? Smarter, faster. Hell, why even try and make the impossible? Because there's never been a more exciting time to be alive, to imagine, to create, to change things, to build better objects, better ideas, better businesses, better lives, even a better world.
The India of yesterday was of cheap labor and efficient manufacturing. Our dream is an India of tomorrow, which is of creativity and design. Imaginarium is our way of helping unlock the creative talent of our country.
3D printing is a set of different technologies that allow the creation of objects by deposition of material layer by layer. This approach to manufacture objects has enabled to bring fragile ideas to reality quicker than ever before.
Today, 3D printing technology has become a very powerful tool in medical domain, for medical device innovation to surgery planning. We create the solution in CAD first. Doctors want to be able to see it in 3 dimensions to check the design form, fit, and function, what is called as, and then give us their feedback. And using that feedback, we are able to reiterate, change the design, and make new models. And this whole cycle time is compressed to a few days instead of few weeks and months.
Previously considered as impossible designs are now being realized every single day in huge number all over the world.
And now it has come to a stage where we can have desktop machines. It's almost become a craft, home craft, to make rapid prototypes.
It's going to rewrite total manufacturing engineering and all our manufacturing process. What we are talking about, assembly of many parts, whole thing will change.
Yesterday's science fiction is today's innovation and tomorrow's way of life. Converting digital bits into atoms and atoms back into bits is now a click of a button. And here we are at Imaginarium, bringing this next industrial revolution to the desk of every inventor, designer, tinkerer, and artist.
There are only a few technologies that change the way the world runs. Every single day, in every single way, we are reimagining the world and its businesses. We are collaborating with them to achieve their greatness. Just in a matter of hours, you can have your imagination, your dreams, your blueprints right in your hands.
Because we believe the world's best ideas need its best builders. Imaginarium is the oxygen that brings these ideas to life. And with every idea, we make one less thing impossible. We are where the best in 3D printing meets the best in human imagination. What we are making, you can't make any other way. What we are doing, you can't do anywhere else. Our work is our signature, and it is traveling across the world. We are Imaginarium, building awesome stuff that matters at India's largest 3D printing company.
Well, that is one. We're going to have more. I'll show you yet another presentation. Stop presenting now. I'll have
इस संसार में हुनर हर जगह है, फिर चाहे वो छोटी सी सुई से कपड़ा सिलने का हुनर हो या फिर एक बड़ी सी गाड़ी ड्राइव करने का। किसी भी चीज को बनाने से लेकर उसका यूज करने तक में जरूरत पड़ती है हुनर की। और ऐसे ही कुछ नए और अनोखे हुनर से हम आपको रूबरू कराते हैं हुनरबाज में। और आज हम आपको एक ऐसा हुनर दिखाएंगे जिसे शायद आपने कभी इमेजिन भी नहीं किया होगा। इमेजिनेरियम में हुनर के लिए कुछ नया खोजते खोजते आज हम पहुंच चुके हैं इमेजिनेरियम। फिर आपने प्रिंटर से बहुत सारी प्रिंटिंग करी होगी, फिर चाहे वो टेक्स्ट हो या इमेज हो, लेकिन कभी आपने सोचा है कि आप प्रिंटर से कोई ऑब्जेक्ट भी प्रिंट कर सकते हैं? जी हाँ, ऑब्जेक्ट। ये ऑब्जेक्ट कुछ भी हो सकता है, जैसे कि ये ज्वेलरी। आप देख सकते हैं ये ज्वेलरी का जो डिजाइन है वो कितना कॉम्प्लेक्स है। इसको हाथ से बनाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है और ये बना है 3D प्रिंटिंग से। आगे आते हैं, यहाँ पर देखिए एक स्टैचू है जो 3D प्रिंटिंग से प्रिंट किया गया है। इसी तरह आप इसमें पर्स या एक्सेसरीज जो भी है वो प्रिंट कर सकते हैं, बच्चों के खिलौने प्रिंट कर सकते हैं, यहाँ तक कि आप सिरेमिक यानी मिट्टी से बनी हुई चीजें, इनको भी आप 3D प्रिंटिंग में प्रिंट कर सकते हैं। इमेजिनेरियम देश की कुछ बड़ी 3D प्रिंटिंग करने वाली कंपनीज में से एक है। 3D प्रिंटिंग आज की और आने वाले समय की एक ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी है जिससे आप एक खिलौने से लेकर घर तक भी बना सकते हैं। अरे भाई, चाइना में तो 3D प्रिंटिंग से एक पूरी बिल्डिंग ही खड़ी कर दी गई है। और इतना ही नहीं, 3D प्रिंटिंग की मदद से हम पेशेंट स्पेसिफिक मॉडल्स या इम्प्लांट्स को भी तैयार कर सकते हैं। जैसे आप देख रहे हैं कि ये एक मॉडल है किडनी का, जिसके ऊपर ये एक ट्यूमर दिखाया गया है। ऐसे मॉडल्स यूज होते हैं मेडिकल स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाने के लिए, डॉक्टर्स अपनी स्टडी के लिए इसको यूज करते हैं। साथ ही जो यहाँ पर आप एक ये इम्प्लांट देख रहे हैं, अगर कोई इंसान किसी एक्सीडेंट में अपना शरीर का कोई हिस्सा खो देता है तो वो हिस्सा हम 3D प्रिंटिंग की मदद से बना सकते हैं। ये टाइटेनियम का बनता है। और ऐसी ही एक कहानी आज हम देखेंगे दर्शना की, जिन्होंने एक एक्सीडेंट में अपना सर का एक हिस्सा खो दिया था। तो कैसे 3D प्रिंटिंग ने दर्शना के उस हिस्से को बनाया और उनको एक नया जीवन दिया।
तो मीट लेने के लिए दर्शनी की, तो रास्ते में कोई बाइक वाले ने उससे एक्सीडेंट हो गया।
एक एक्सीडेंट जिसने दर्शना जी की जिंदगी को पूरी तरह से हिला के रख दिया। बाइक से टकराने के बाद उनके सर का एक हिस्सा पूरी तरह से टूट चुका था, जिसे दोबारा पहले की तरह जोड़ पाना मुश्किल था।
मेरे सर पे खड्डा जैसा हो गया था और जैसे बच्ची का तलवा होता है ऐसा फॉर्म हो गया था।
इस परिस्थिति में रहना दर्शना जी को गवारा नहीं था और वो हारना नहीं चाहती थी। और वो कहते हैं ना कि जहाँ हौसले बुलंद हों, रास्ते मिल ही जाते हैं। उनके पति की दिन रात की कोशिशें उन्हें ले आई इमेजिनेरियम, जहाँ 3D प्रिंटिंग की मदद से सर के उस खोए हिस्से को बनाना एक हद तक मुमकिन था। लेकिन ये रास्ता भी इतना आसान नहीं था।
इसमें सबसे बड़ा डिफिकल्टी ये था कि डॉक्टर्स के लिए भी कटिंग एज है, एकदम नया है ये। तो डॉक्टर्स को पता नहीं है कि ये कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं, कि क्या क्या एप्लीकेशंस हो सकते हैं। तो डॉक्टर्स को कन्विंस करने के लिए, उनके परिवार वालों को कन्विंस करने के लिए कि ये बेटर टेक्नोलॉजी है, वो कन्विंस करने में थोड़ा टाइम लगा। और दूसरा था कि डॉक्टर्स डिज़ाइन फील्ड से नहीं आते और डिज़ाइनर्स मेडिकल फील्ड से नहीं आते, तो ये कम्युनिकेशन के लिए हमें थोड़े ट्रायल्स और एरर्स करने पड़े। पर 3D प्रिंटिंग का वही एडवांटेज है कि एक मिस्टेक करो जल्दी सुधारो, मिस्टेक करो जल्दी सुधारो।
This implant is patient specific, 3D printed, and you're doing it for the first time in Gujarat.
पेशेंट स्पेसिफिक इम्प्लांट यानी जैसे आप टेलर से अपने नाप के कपड़े बनवाते हैं, ठीक वैसे ही 3D प्रिंटिंग की मदद से दर्शना जी के सर के उस टूटे हिस्से के नाप के हिसाब से उनका इम्प्लांट डिजिटली तैयार किया गया।
जब हम लोग ने पूरा केस स्टडी किया तो जो उनका स्कल का पीस टूटा था उसके बाद का सीटी स्कैन मंगाया। उसके बाद हम लोग ने वो सीटी स्कैन डेटा का 3D मॉडल बनाया। तो उसके लिए हम लोग ने एक सॉफ्टवेयर यूज़ किया था जिसमें हम लोग ने ये सीटी स्कैन डेटा यूज़ करके उनका एक 3D मॉडल बनाया, ऐसे डिजिटल 3D मॉडल, जिसकी वजह से हम लोग को उनके स्कल में जितना गैप था वो उसके एग्जैक्ट डिमेंशंस मिले। वो डिमेंशंस को हम लोग ने यूज़ करके फिर एक इम्प्लांट बनाया जो सिर्फ उनके ही डिफेक्ट पे फिट होगा।
ये भाविन जी की हिम्मत ही थी जो उन्होंने एक बिल्कुल नए हुनर पर न सिर्फ भरोसा किया बल्कि उसे अपनाया भी। तभी तो आज दर्शना जी का ये आत्मविश्वास और उनकी ये मुस्कान देखते ही बनती है।
मुझे मेरा हस्बैंड पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस था कि वो जो कर रहे हैं वो सही है मेरे लिए, और इंजीनियरिंग की वजह से आज मेरी लाइफ है बहुत खुश है और मैं भी बहुत खुश हूँ हस्बैंड की वजह से।
3D टेक्नोलॉजी से दर्शना जी की तरह न जाने कितने लोगों की जिंदगी बदल रही है। और ये सिर्फ मेडिकल फील्ड तक ही सीमित नहीं है, बल्कि ज्वेलरी डिजाइनिंग, ऑटोमोटिव, आर्किटेक्चर जैसे कई क्षेत्रों में अपनी जगह बना चुकी है।
3D प्रिंटिंग में डिजाइनर्स का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है। जैसे आपको कोई भी डिजाइन के लिए आर्टिस्ट चाहिए जो ड्रॉ कर सके, स्कल्प्ट कर सके, वैसे आर्टिस्ट की बहुत रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है। और वैसे डिजाइनर्स जिनको कैड सॉफ्टवेयर आता हो और वो सीख सकते हैं, वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट नहीं होता। मशीन्स को मैन पावर की भी बहुत ज़रूरत होती है, जैसे अपने हैंड लेबरर्स हो जो हाथ से बैठ के पार्ट को पॉलिश कर सके, अच्छा फिनिश दे सके, तो वैसे पॉलिशर्स, पेंटर्स, टूल मेकर्स, वैसे हैंड वर्कर्स की भी बहुत ज़रूरत होती है।
तो अगर आपके पास भी है डिजाइनिंग का हुनर, तो 3D प्रिंटिंग खोलता है आपके लिए करियर के कई रास्ते।
Well, I would like to share one more now. Let us see what I can share. So here we are making a Madhya Pradesh tourism advertisement. For that they needed some artifacts. You can see. This the actual advertisement will come now. It's the making of the advertisement.
एमपी में दिल हुआ बच्चे सा, मुगली के छोटे से कच्चे सा, शेर को मारे थप्पा, बड़ा सिंह संग संग दौड़े, और छक्का चप्पा चप्पा छाने जैसे पकौड़े, चंदेरी सारी के कुछे सा, एमपी में दिल हुआ बच्चे सा, शराफा बाजार चखे अच्छे सा, मार्बल पहाड़ चमके जैसे चंदा मामा, मंटू का महल लाके जादू कारनामा, सांझ की शांति से सच्चे सा, एमपी में दिल हुआ बच्चे सा, छोटे से बच्चे सा।
So that was a documentary, or what I can say, a project made for Hungary, a small filmmaker company, and they acknowledged us. We also have, I'll close this, maybe I should share yet another story for you. That is making of a trophy for 211 it has got very low sound actually. So probably you can see how the CAD is made. This is the making of the CAD. This is printing, SLS printing. After printing, taking out the parts from the powder, you can see the part which is sintered is so strong, and you can see it has powder has to be removed, and this is all finished parts under inspection. Then we do the spray painting of each. This is India Gate, and these are all bases which are made by hand, not actually 3D printed, because it doesn't add value. And you can see the part is being put on the pedestal, which is 26/11 Memorial Day trophy. So I was there, and Chief Minister that time, Fadnavis, was there, and it was all issued to people. I'll share yet another thing for you to check out. This is CEAT tires. Can you see the screen? Okay. I'm unable to see the screen myself. Let me see. Okay.
Overspeeding is one of the biggest reasons for most accidents in India. CEAT, a leading tire brand, has always focused on making the Indian roads safer. So, on World Road Safety Week, CEAT tires spoke to adults.
I can't see your screen.
To their kids' voice.
You're able to see?
When you go to
No, only audio is there.
Video is there.
then please don't.
Oh, I think it is not shared. Sorry. Okay, I need to share it. There's some problem. There is some problem with. Can you see now?
You said unshare it once and then do it again.
Okay. Share it. Can you just see the screen now? Okay. Now I think you can see.
Overspeeding is one of the biggest reasons for most accidents in India. CEAT, a leading tire brand,
Yes,
has
sir.
always
Yes, sir.
focused
We
on
can see
making
it.
Indian roads safer. So, on World Road Safety Week, CEAT tires spoke to adults in a voice that went straight to their heart, their kids' voice.
Dad, I get very scared when you go to. Then please don't drive so fast.
Presenting the Drive Safe Dad bobblehead. We created personalized bobbleheads of the kids. Once the faces were scanned, an industrial 3D printer was used to print the replicas. And a sound chip with speed sensors was built in. So every time the car would exceed its speed limit, the bobblehead would give this message.
Dad, please don't drive so fast. Dad, I get very scared when you go to. Dad, please slow down.
The appreciation was inevitable. The activity was immediately picked up by different media and was also a rage on social media. With over 1 million views on YouTube,
We got trending at #3 position, and SEAT's YouTube page saw a 100% increase in subscribers. SEAT Tires aims to visit many more schools and create many more personalized bobbleheads so kids can tell their dads. An initiative by SEAT Tires. SEAT, it helps.
Okay. So that was a small, again, a documentary thing. Close the share tray. Now let me take you to the so-called facility visit, you know, and I'll share. Can you all see this screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The printing shop, you can see. What I'll do,
Yes, sir. It's
I will give the commentary. Can you hear me now?
yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay.
Audible.
Yes, sir.
This is the visit movie. Okay. So what you see here is SLA mission Viper SLA, and it has not changed the time Chuck Hull discovered it. And you also see a large mission iPro. These are all multi-jet modeling MJM missions. And you can see this is a Sinter station, which is SLS technology. And what you see here is a HP's multi-jet fusion technology. Multi-jet fusion. And this gives you end user part. Okay, spectacles and all we can make. And then we have vacuum casting facility where we can make quick molds overnight, and people can see demolding is done. This is pouring of resin into the mold, and this is called mold packing using staplers, you know. And then you can see they have opened mold, demolding. You know, the part is taken out, and it has, of course, it needs cleaning and all. This is CNC shop where we do tools and all. Even some prototypes we do by subtractive manufacturing also. And then we sometimes make laser cutting of parts as required, because we have got all types of facility at under one roof. Then we have injection molding where quickly parts can be built, and you know, some whenever we need something like 500 to 1000 to a lakh part, we use injection molding. The finishing shop. So every part which is 3D printed has to be subjected to post-treatment, putting putties and cleaning, buffing, sanding. They're all done. We have highly skilled workmen. Totally, there are about 350 people in Imaginarium. And you can see it's a computerized color synthesis. We can have any color made by mixing those with the help of a computer. This is spray painting, and then we have plating also. This is scanning facility. So if you have a 3D model, you can actually convert that into a CAD using this point cloud data. So what we call reverse engineering. We now largely use it for inspection purpose. And in jewelry unit, we have highly advanced CAD facility, you know, and where people are trying to make entities, you know, virtually, and then they're all printed in wax, and then we make it into a tree, you know. So you can see many parts will go, and after investment, those molds are cast with metal such as gold, silver, brass, bronze, you know, using the vacuum casting. You can see the Karigar is trimming and working on the part. Now he's laser welding it. Using a microscope, he is welding joints here, and he is doing inspection of a part. And this is enameling. So enameling is being done using colors. This is plating. Of course, we plate a very small parts, so we don't require the 7 tank. Those 7 tanks are there; they are very small. We don't require for a very large plating. We take it outside and give it to vendors. This is buffing of a jewelry part. Let's see how it is finished. This is the final touch called buffing. And I think with that we have come to the end of the trip. So if you have any, I'll start unsharing it. And so if you have any doubt, I would like to clarify now. So if you have any doubt, please ask the questions. Faculty.
Any doubt?
Oh yeah. Shall I help useful to you?
It's out.
Hello. I
Any
think
doubt?
with this we come to the end of the presentation today. If you have any doubts, I would like to clarify. Hello. Pramod.
Any doubts from the participants? Any questions?
Or you want to see
No
the...
doubts. I would like, sir, I am Surinder Kaur Bali. No doubts. But the presentation was very nice.
Okay.
Exceptionally, I think that figurine of the child, that was very beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So what you see here, we also have a VR experience that is possible. I'm walking in the company, so it is in real time how our factory looks like. You can see this is the corporate floor, and you can actually see some of the people working here. So you can see my colleague working here. Um, well, that's Ganesh there. And as you see, a lot of people are busy working on stuff. And,
Sir, what skills should be required for a mechanic?
People will be trained here. So mechanical or you have people with mechatronics will be good. People with computer science and the computer those things also would be good because a lot of computing also goes into largely mechanical. People would be preferred because a lot of such things happen. Work goes on here. So some of these you saw in the movie also. So we have come to the exhibition area, and some of these. So I was showing one peacock headgear. You can see here the peacock headgear, right? And you also have.
So sorry for the interruption, sir. Can you please
artifact.
share the... Hello?
Share what? Share what?
So the material that you have used for that peacock headgear.
That is nylon.
Okay.
That's
Thank
nylon.
you so much, sir. Thank you
Yes,
so much, sir, for taking us to this fascinating world of 3D printing with your projects and all. It's really commendable and really inspiring. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, welcome. Shall I sign off now?
Excuse me, sir. I want to ask whether your company is providing any sort of training to the student or anyone wants to learn something.
Yes, we do conduct under CII, the Confederation of Indian Industries. So we conduct 2-day training programs, and so we have concept of Imaginarium Academy, where we actually conduct our programs. So you can attend it. It is also going to end with a visit to facility. And when the normalcy comes, as the promoter was mentioning, you can all visit us. So we normally don't deny access to Imaginarium facility. So we have volunteers who can take you to the facility, show you around. Okay, always, anytime you can come. And so there is no, if you kind of take an appointment and come is not really required. But if you are there, I can also meet you guys. But whenever you are in Mumbai, close to our facility, you can visit us. So we don't really have any problem with that, because we want people to know about what we do, so that the more aware society will try to adopt the technology. That is very important. That's our mission also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, can you tell me what are the prerequisite, means what quality a student should have to work in your company?
Oh, nothing actually. They should have a team working capability, good attitude towards life, and that's it. We don't really require anything more, because they'll learn at Imaginarium again. So they'll be put on the job, and they will love to work with teams and learn quickly. So we don't require. It's like 100% rank holder or anything like that. Nothing. People should have interest to learn, quest for learning. Because this is one area where we need to keep on learning. A lot of new things keep coming. So people should be willing to learn and contribute. Learn and contribute. That's it.
Thank you.
Any more questions from the participants? Okay, sir. I think it's been a very good session actually about what you had did with the virtual tour, with the advertisement about what are the products you had been produced, and you have shown with the applications. So it's been a very good session, sir, and I hope it has been. If you have seen the arena there, it's so good to see. And I would have seriously suggested, if it would have not been a virtual class or a online lecture, we would have really visited Imaginarium as what we did last time, sir. So I hope that this pandemic situation gets over and we can work together and we can have the similar sessions, similar workshops, and we can go for it. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. So I hope I'll share the link of the feedback and about the sessions and the attendance link. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Bye. Take care.